Guys, good evening. Welcome to my channel. Happy Sunday. So, this is one of the episodes where I share my weekly analysis for the new week, right? So today is the 27th of July 2025, and since my last few analyses, I traded only four pairs: GBP USD, USD JPY, GBP JPY, and USOIL. Hold me accountable if I add any other pair to this, and if I will have an explanation why I did it. Okay, so these are the four pairs I am going to be trading from now henceforth. So that is that for that. So going into the chart, let's start with USD JPY. What I'm seeing here is it's to me it's like magic, right? Because if you can see, UJ was trending up, was trending upwards for years. It has been trending upwards for years. Then since the beginning of the year, started going down. If you can see, 2025 started coming down from here. So then it switched up again, started going up since what's the month? Since the middle of April. So this is where we are at now. Right, don't mind these drawings and all of that, but like one of these days I'm going to put a breakdown on how I actually analyze this chart and make this analysis. So if you go to the 4 hour time frame, you can see this very strong uptrend here. You can see higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. Right, so this is where we are at now. So guys, this is where we are at now. So if you can see, the market is trending upwards, but I'm sure you can see this level of support here that the market has tested multiple times. So this is current price action for the 4 hour time frame. So let's just start from 4 hour from here. You can see that so when the market broke above this area, he retested it, then he went above. He hit this resistance trend line, broke out of this support trend line on the higher time frame. This support trend line is on the higher time frame. If you go back on the video, you see it, right? This resistance is on this 4 hour time frame, right? This is the support trend line, this is the resistance trend line on the new trend on the 4 hour time frame, right? You can see once it broke above, then it tapped that trend line, then it came back down. So you can see that price is respecting this trend a lot. So it just came to tap on this support area, right? Then started going up again. So they are let me just show you what I'm expecting on the 1 hour so that you see. So 1 hour time frame now, these things are more they are very, very clear from here. This is a very beautiful trend, but I'm expecting two things. Oh, the market is open now. Now is 10:05, 10 o'clock in the night, and the market is open. That's crazy. Sometimes it used to be 11. So this is an uptrend. I'm expecting two things. Now the market has opened with a gap up. I'm expecting two things. Let's scale down a little bit. So if the market breaks this support area here and retest it, I'm going to sell. And this sell makes a whole lot of sense. You can see selling back to this support area here won't be bad at all. Selling to this support area won't be bad, but USD JPY is bullish. So what I'm expecting two things. If it breaks below this support area and goes down, I'll be selling. But if it breaks above this area here, this resistance that we have here breaks above it, tests, then we are going to be looking for more buys. Let's say it does something like this. Sorry for that. I think the rain is falling and it's dropping on my screen. So see, I'm expecting a breakout like this, then a retest on this level, then a continuation to the upside. Then I'll be using these levels as take profit areas. There's one here, this one, it's not proper. Okay, I think this is much more better. This one, there is this resistance trend line here, this resistance trend line, this one, then there's this resistance area, right? So these are my take profit levels. These are the levels I'll be looking to take my profit. But this one looks more valid. This resistance area, it looks more valid because it's the latest, or is the most current resistance than the other ones that are very, very far, right? So these are what I'm expecting for USD JPY. Don't forget, buyers can change, right? I might be saying I want to do this, then later my bias will change, but this is what I'm expecting, right? This is an uptrend that makes a lot of sense, and you can see it was ranging on the 25th. So it's ranging for the whole day. You can see it's ranged for the whole day on that same particular, what's it called, on that same particular resistance area. So instead of me to, you know, I can also try to catch the sell from here, but it won't make sense, right? I know it will be a more better it will be a more better entry around this area, but it just makes a lot of sense for me to just take it after a break and retest of this support area, for me to, for me to be more, for it to just make more sense, right? I can decide to take it there. It will add a few pips, let's say about 20 pips or 30 pips more. Oh, it's about 40 pips extra on my, on the trade. But I don't just want, I don't trade that way. I trade after, more and more and more confirmations. I can see, if I see some kind of like, um what's it called, like a consolidation here around this area, I can decide that, okay, maybe I want to sell, right? But right now, what makes sense now in the moment is this break and retest. If you break and retest below, I'm going to be selling. But since the market is an uptrend, I'm expecting another break and retest to the upside, which is going to make me, buy the market. These are what I'm expecting on USD JPY. Going forward, you are going to GJ, which is one of the pairs I love that is now misbehaving. So if you look on the daily time frame, it's clear it's an uptrend inside another massive uptrend again. You can see it's an uptrend inside another uptrend. So 4 hour time frame, what are we seeing? There's an uptrend. Don't forget, this is a weak resistance level. Why did I put that? Because it's not that strong. Look at it, it's not that strong compared to this one, right? So it's a resistance, but it's not as strong as the one above it. That's why I wrote that there, right? So some people might be asking why I use lines, then I use boxes, then I use line and boxes. Let me explain. These lines are okay. These boxes are what we call something like a strong. Okay, let's use it to the upside now. This one is like a strong resistance, right? This one I'm touching here. This one is a strong resistance, while this one here is the stronger resistance, but this is the strongest. Okay, this is the strongest because these are, most of the time, these places are where the market turns, right? These are where the market turns. These are where the main moves happen. These are the strongest ones, while these are just strong, and these are stronger. These ones are stronger, but these are the strongest ones. This one that you can see, there are lines and there are boxes there, so those are the more stronger ones than the rest of them. So what I'm expecting on GBP JPY is simple. Last week, look at what happened here last week. So we had this, this uptrend, but there was this descending trend line that still, had its strengths still attached to it. So what I'm thinking is that since the market broke out of this trend line, the breakout has been crazy because it has been happening multiple times and it just refused to go up. So it broke out once, it came back down, it broke out again, it came back down to retest, it broke out again, came back down to retest. Let me mark this. All in all, what we can see that is that price is rejecting from this resistance a lot of times. You can see here 1 2 3 4 5. So price are rejected from this resistance about 5 times here, and it's on the lower time frame. That's why this box is here, right? If this were on the higher time frame, maybe it would have been a line or a box and a line, right? So a rectangle and a line rather. So this is why this is here. So if I see a breakout, a clean breakout, not just a breakout, now I'm looking for a clean breakout, because if you can see, let me remove this quickly. If you can see on GBP JPY, what I noticed here is that once, like for the past, let's say for the past 6 days, for the past 6 trading days, let's say 6 trading days, the whole market has been kind of like messy in a way, because like there were no clean candlesticks. Look at the 1 hour time frame and look at the amount of weak rejections that we can see here. They are almost, they are just like over, they are under 20% of candlesticks that didn't have, weak rejections here. About 80% or over 80% of these candlesticks has weak rejections, and that is not a good sign. It means that the market is kind of like consolidating and ranging in sense of way. So if we would say we want to, let me just say I delete this and I delete this, you can see that this is just like a consolidating market from here to here. It's like a consolidating market. That is exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is, right? But I'm just, I put those things so that I won't forget that this area has been strong for a very long period of time. And okay, I might also think of deleting it now that I've seen, the possibilities of what deleting it might entail, right? So let's just leave that one there. So there are two things now. It's either I take this trade from here once there's a clean breakout and retest, I take it from here, stop loss, let's say, be above, below that week, or around, let's say around here. Our stop loss should be around there. We should be risking about 38 pips. Our take profit should be around there. So it's about a 1 to 3.3, but there's a possibility that I might take out my profit around here if the market tend to reject from this area, because it has done that multiple times. I don't want to say, okay, it's either TP or stop loss. You don't do that kind of thing here. You don't do it either TP or stop loss, because this area has been market has rejected this place multiple times. You don't want to do either TP or SL, right? So you have to look at this area. If the market rejects from here, you just have to take your profit out. Or if maybe you just want to gamble it and just, hold on and say, okay, let me see what this is going to give me, right? Apart from that, once the market reach here, makes a not so good rejection, or maybe start giving those consolidating candlesticks, you just have to exit from around here. So that's what I'm thinking now. This is what I'm going to do. Or maybe the market breaks above and retest here again, I might be adding to, to my position. Stop loss around here should be around the 1 to 1, but okay, 1 to 7, 1 to 1.7. But my previous, sorry, hold on. So guys, what I was saying is that my previous position is going to, this first position is going to hedge with for this one, right? So if this is a 1 to 3 and this is a 1 to 1.7, but this is a scaled in position and this has stop loss to break even already, so it just makes sense that way, right? This is what I'm going to do if the market breaks and retest. I mean, a good break and retest, don't forget, a good break and retest to the upside is going to make me do that. But if the market decides to go below this first trend line here and break out of this main trend line, so if he goes if he goes past this counter trend and break out this main trend, something like this, it breaks out, there's a possibility that it's going to retest to either this area here, or maybe it's going to retest here. So if you retest here, I'm going to be waiting for for a rejection down. Then I'm going to be shorting to. I'm going to be taking profit systematically. I might not be waiting for that main TP area, because I was a kind of intraday trader, but I've seen that most of the times it doesn't pay well, because you might be at TP2, TP3, and you just close on position, then before back to break even or hit stop loss. So I'm not going to be taking profits systematically. So it's either it breaks above, retest on this area, or it breaks above and retest back on this main area of main area of of support now turned into resistance. So this is exactly what I'm going to be looking at, or looking out for on GBP JPY. It's going to be a nice one. It's going to be a nice week, and I noticed that since I started trading just 4 pairs alone, the the system has just been a little bit more more clearer to me. I'm now seeing things from a very kind of better perspective. That is what I'm trying to say. So break and retest to the upside, I'm going to buy. Then another break and retest to the upside, breaking that resistance that's been there for a long time, then I'm going to take another position. That is exactly what I'm going to. That's my game plan for GJ, right? But overall, GBGP wise, it's bullish, so you don't want to just start taking shots from there. So yes, all is trending downwards. Right? If you can see the last time, I actually placed a trend line around here. That was when it was trending upwards. There was a trend around here. I traded that one. I got into this trade from around here, around up like 100 plus pips, about 150 plus pips, right? So it was a nice trade overall, but that is in the past now. So when I was analyzing, I normally analyze before I do my videos, because if I analyze during the videos, it will be too long. So this is what I came up with, right? First touch, second touch, third touch, then the market dropped. I didn't actually see this, but this is what I actually was looking at when I took that sale last week. I was like, okay. I was like, I think, sincerely speaking, I was like, I just wanted I just thought that maybe the market would do something like, from here. I don't know why this is not clicking. I think it's network. Okay, let's do that again. So guys, it's about raining, so I'm so sorry if you might be hearing some noise due to the rain. So if you can see, this is why I took the trade. I was like, okay, I was expecting the market to reject from this place down here, test this, this strong area of support, then continue the upward move. But that wasn't the case, and I didn't even see it. But it's I won't call it a lucky trade, because I was actually there are many things that I put into this trade that I would never have called it a lucky trade. I'll just say that I didn't actually see this downtrend line as as another additional confluence for me to even take the trade. But when I was analyzing this night, I was like, okay, this also makes a lot of sense, right? So then I added it. So you can see the market has been changing downwards from, what knows how long? Let's say from on the 13th, let's say from on the 14th rather. So if you can see, let me just put this here for curiosity's sake. Let me put this here. There's another one here. There's another one here. Let's just delete that. Let's put it here. Just supposed to be without a mistake. So this is what I'm actually looking at now. So the market has bounced off the trend line 3 times. So I'm expecting a pullback from where it was. So there are two things that can happen. So the market can pull back to this to this area of previous supports, or to this area of resistance, right? The market can pull back to this area of resistance, then start shorting, start going down to this next area of take profits, or the market can come back to this area here to be like more like a retest of the breakout on the trend line, on both this trend line. Wait, so the market can come back. What I was saying, that the market can retest back on this place. This makes more confluences because it's retesting on this trend line, it's bouncing off this trend line, and it's rejecting off this area of, what's it called, this area of resistance. So this makes a whole more sense to take the trade off this area, but there's a good possibility that the market might not even reach that place. So we're just going to be taking the trades only for where we see rejections from. So I was looking for counter trades to take there, but the problem about counter trades is that you don't know when to exit. If you don't know when to exit, there'll be a lot of problems. So you don't want to take a counter trade from here, for instance, and use and you want to use this area as your I want to use this area. okay, let's say you take a counter trend from here, you don't want to use it as to take profit because you don't know if the market will hold this area or will bounce off it. That is one of the reasons why counter trend does not just make sense in any way. Counter trend is good for people that are pros, but once you have not gotten a grasp completely of what you are doing, you should just say bye to counter trend, my friend. Just say bye to it until you've completely master what you are doing. So let's go back to what we are doing. There are some counter trends that just makes a lot of sense for you to take, but this is not one of them because you don't know if the market is going to come back to this area. And this taking the trade from this place makes a whole lot of sense. Look at this. Taking the shares from here, it makes a whole lot of sense. It might be a swing trade because US oil has the moves. Look at US oil on Friday when I took the shares from here. Look at it. It made like sorry. US oil made over 133 pips in just 6 hours. So US oil has the moves. That is one thing that is for sure. So it's either this is what I'm going to do if the market takes off from this place. My stop loss should be around a little bit above here, but most of the time I won't take that trade exactly there. I'll just take the trade after rejections from that area. So that is what I'm going to do. Or if the market rejects from this area here, I like to take it from this place here. Makes a lot more sense, right? From that from that place where the line meets the what's it called, the zone or the rectangle, whatever you want to call it, right? So these are what I'm going to be doing for US oil. And why I put this as a more preferable take profit is, look at this. Remember when this was opening our asses late May, right? This particular area that I refused to break out. So it's still a more valid area until price breaks out of it. We might put our TP here at this next level here, which is a more soothing area for taking profits. But we are not going to forget that this area also has a lot of say if it's going to break out from there or not. So even if we want to put it here, even if we want to put our take profits here, we are also going to put this place into perspective because if the market does not break it, we are just going to exit before any other crazy thing happens. So that is that for that on US oil. I'm just going to take this out so my chart won't be too clustered with all these things that are here. We're going to take this out. So this is what I'm expecting for US oil. US oil is bearish and I'm thinking of going down. I'm not thinking of going down in Jesus' name. I'm thinking of shorting it. Please always speak positive, man. So I'm thinking of shorting it from either of these two areas. But if there's a possibility for me to go long, like a counter trend, I might take it, I might not. So let's see how it goes. So if you go on GBP USD, which is the last pair I'm going to trade, which is the last pair I'm going to analyze, sorry, is okay, I think I'm going to analyze BTC too. So GBP USD actually broke out of the very strong bullish trend, but for some reason it went back up into it and started messing with itself. I took a lot of nice trades around this place last week, a lot of good sensible trade around here, and I missed a lot of good trades from here. I missed out on a lot of good setups on this place. So we learn all the time, learn every day. So this is what we are having here. You can see that this area has been tested multiple times, right? So that has been bounced. Price has bounced up that area multiple times. So we are looking at the nice uptrend that has broken out and went back up to retest, and it still does not even look like a retest, to be honest with you. Just look like maybe just went back in and now it broke out again. So what I'm expecting now is that what is price going to do on this area when we wake up tomorrow morning, which is Monday? Is price going to reject off this area or it's going to break out? of the area. So whatever price do is what we are going to, what we are going to follow, right? So if price comes back, it has already come. Okay, I think price, price jumped lower a little bit. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Because on Friday, price closed here, and on Monday it's opening here. On Sunday it's opening here, so price jumped. So what I'm thinking is that I thought you actually maybe go up a little bit and come back to the area. So let me just go to 4 hour. Let me continue what I'm saying, so I won't start saying something absolutely different. So if price breaks out of this area here, breaks out, retest it, then I'm going to look for like chart patterns and all of that. That is what I do for almost all my trades. Look for chart patterns that supports the whole concept or the whole idea of that particular trade. Or because GBP USD normally does something like all this triangle, symmetrical, whatever. You don't need to, sincerely speaking, you don't need to know the name. You just need to know them when you see them on the chart. So this kind of things, that's what I'm talking about. This kind of things. So these are what I'm going to be looking after or looking for me to take this trade on GBP USD. So before that some people see you need to learn all the names: pennant, symmetrical triangle, bearish pennant, whatever, what have you. There are a lot of names, and if you say you want to decide to learn all those names, my brother, you might get lost. You might not get lost, but it's going to take more time for you because you're just trying to learn something that does not really matter. You just need to learn how they appear on the chart, not their name. How they appear on the chart, what kind of chart they appear on, that makes a lot of sense. So there are some pairs that chart pattern will appear on and they don't mean shit, like they won't work out. So that's how you need that's how it is, right? You need to know when they appear, how they appear, and if they are going to work, if they appear. Don't forget, this other area has been as anytime price break out of this level, it comes back to this level. So you might also want to, what I'm also looking for is maybe what is going to happen when price gets to this place, because you don't want to see price come to this place then continue, then reverse to the upside, right? So I'm going to be cautious of this level too. That's why I marked it with a very, very thin rectangle or thin line, whatever. So that is why I mark out this line. So if I see a breakout of that area, then I see the market retest it, trying to go to the downside, I'm going to hop on the trade. But if I see the market consolidate around there a little bit, then start forming bullish, kind of like more bullish reasons or more bullish confluences or confirmations, then I'll start looking for buys. That is exactly how I trade. I'll look for buys. So I use here as the final take profit because the last time the market came to this place, that is where it went to before it started reversing. It does not mean, and I repeat, it does not mean that I'm going to take a trade from here and I'm going to hold it to here. No, that's not what I'm going to be doing. I might hold it to around here, or better still, here will be a more better area to hold the trade up until, but I might not hold it till here. So if the trade gets to this area, there's a possibility that it's going to break out of the area, and if it does, I'm going to enter another long position, right? But if it's going to reverse, then we are going to see it and we are going to capitalize off that reversal. But don't forget, the market is not just going to push to the upside just like that. It's going to go up, come down, go up, come down, go up, come down. So that is what makes people say that you need patience in the market for you to do whatever you want to do, right? So this doesn't make sense. I'm just putting it, so I'll just look at it on the 1 hour time frame. It doesn't make sense. Please don't put this on your chart. Sometimes you just experiment with these trend lines, and sometimes they work out. Just work out. I'm just gonna leave this for curiosity's sake. Curiosity's sake. If the market breaks below it, it's another conference, but I won't see it as something that I'm going to rely on. Right? I'm just gonna leave it there for now. So if the market breaks below, I'm going to sell. The market continue pushing above, I'm going to buy. And if I'm looking for buys, I'll be looking for good price action around this, around this level or above it. That's what I'll be looking for. Because from here, there are a lot of manipulations from this place or down to this place. There are a lot of things that are going to trick you for you to enter for the buy or for the sell, and the market is going to just reverse. Once the market breaks this strong, I don't want to call it weak, so I call it strong, right? Strong, strongest, strong area of resistance. Then I'm going to look for the buys. That is exactly what I'm going to do. So that is that for the four pairs that I trade. I now make more analysis and extensively explain why I take this trade and how I'm going to take them on Monday. So let me just go back to 1 hour. Try to delete as much things as possible. I think I've deleted many of them already. So I think if USDJPY is going to go up, GBP is going to go down. So those trades are those pairs, they correlate negatively, right? They correlate negatively. So if one goes up and round, it's going to come down. So that's exactly what I'm just going to be looking for on these four pairs. To be honest with you, the trades that make a lot of sense, GBP JPY, once it breaks out of this current resistance that it's on now, this current resistance is gonna make a lot of sense. I can say so for USOIL because it's the most perfect trade that I have this week. Right, nice downtrend. GBP USD, it's kind of like a mouthful, right? I don't really know, but if the markets tend to break below, it's going to be a nice trend. You don't want GBP USD to go up and USD JPY to go up to cause a lot of confusion. And if the both of them are going up, one is going to be slow, and you don't want to be in a slow trade for too long. You're just going to take your time, right? So GBP USD is kind of like dabbling in between. USD JPY makes a lot of sense if it's going to short, but I know it's not going to short. So let's just see how the market plays out, right? And I'll try as much as possible to make my charts more clean and clearer than before. Let's just go and analyze one more pair, which is BTC. I don't trade it. I just want to drop my analysis since it's going bullish for a long period of time now. So you can see 4-hour time frame. I don't know if you remember when I was saying that there's a possibility that price might reject from this what's it called, my reverse from this support area. And you can see when price came down, it just broke below it. It might have fooled a lot of people into taking the sell, then started going for a buy. So don't forget, as a trader, you can't take all your trades, can't win all your trades, right? Let's say, to be honest, I was taking the shade, but I didn't because I don't trade BTC. Let's say breakout retests, got one rejection, two rejections, three rejections. So you see 1 hour time frame candlestick, bearish. It's going to take it from here. Stop loss should be around here, 102.9. Stop loss it. So, or I might not also have taken the trade, due to other confirmations, right? And if I wanted to take the buy, I don't know how I'm going to take the buy because since the market broke to the downside, there's no retest on the upside before it kept going. So I might as well not take the trade. So BTC has always been a kind of like a manipulative pair to me, because most of the time you respect it up and most of the time it just does what it wants to do. So that's why I no longer trade BTC, right? So since the market has broken above this area here, Let me just enlarge it a little bit. So the market has, has rejected off that area. I just expect more, more bullish movements to the upside. That's what I'll be looking for. More bullish movements to the upside. So except price reject off this all-time high, which is the highest point of resistance. If the market does not reject off it, the market is going to break it for sure, or the market is just going to consolidate around it. BTC is in an uptrend. I don't want to talk much about it, to be honest with you. It's an uptrend. Let me just go to the 4 hour. You can see BTC is in an uptrend. Nice uptrend, to be honest with you. Nice uptrend. But I don't really care about it because I don't want to trade it. I don't trade it anymore. So that is that for that. Thank you very much. So if you are new here, please drop a like, drop a comment. We are open for constructive criticism. You can learn from my mistakes. I can learn from yours. If there's anything you think that I'm not doing, or I'm not doing right, you can just correct me in the comments. Drop a like. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe. Please, I have like 31 subs now. So do me a favor and just click the like button, click the subscribe button, click the share button. There are a lot of people that need this kind of content too, right? So that is that for that. Bye and thank you.